Hey y'all, happy Thursday. We are going to do a little tutorial today on some ornament ribbon banners for your Christmas tree. So come on in and say hello. Look at this cute little Christmas tree that I have sitting on the back, on my table in the back. And we are going to create these little cute paper banners for our Christmas decor. So this is going to be a little bit of a different type tutorial for you. You may be like, why would I put paper banners on my Christmas tree? But it actually has a really cool impact. So let me hold it back just a little bit. And you can see how they're just tucked in there in the branches. And it is actually kind of striking. It's something that people don't expect to see on your tree, and it's very, very simple and cheap to make. Okay, so let's do this together. We are going to, all you need is some construction paper, some white construction paper. Yes, they make white construction paper. Did you know this? Not in the kids' craft section. Those are all colored. But you can find white construction paper in more of the artist section at Hobby Lobby. So, and then we're just going to be using a template. We've got multiple templates here that we can use today for some banners. Oop, I can't show them all. I'm going to knock my tree over. And then just some little pins. Some calligraphy pins. It's all you need. Hey, Roxy. Hey, Eric, Teresa. That's Teresa. Hey, you're watching on YouTube today. Good to see y'all. So let's make these together. I'm going to set this Christmas tree behind me for now, but I wanted to give you a visual of what we're going to do together. All right. So let's switch. Kind of like me being a little bit smaller up there in the corner, so you've got more room to see what I'm doing. Okay, so here's the construction paper I found. I actually bought different kinds of white craft paper, like rolled white paper, and the construction paper, because I wasn't sure which one was going to work best. And what I found is that the construction paper was just a little bit thicker. And here is what the packaging looks like on there. It says it's premium, heavyweight, single color pack. And again, I got this at Hobby Lobby. Let me show you what the roll one looks like. Hold on just a second. Let me grab it. Okay, so I bought, like I told you, several different kinds because I just wasn't sure. I did this project last year as part of the Creative Little Christmas event, and these were just a little bit too thin. So if you find something, you could experiment yourself with the paper and what you like. But this one, you can actually see through it. And I liked that because the lights could come through. And it works okay if you're doing smaller little banners. But if you're doing bigger ones for a larger tree, it was just a little too flimsy. It kind of looked cheap in there and like it wasn't holding itself up. So I settled on these sheets of construction paper. And so this is what I'm going to be using today. And it just, to you is going to look like normal paper, but it is a nice heavy weight paper. But the good thing is, I don't know if you're going to be able to see for sure, but maybe you can see a little bit of the shadow underneath there. So we can actually just trace through the paper and not have to do a whole transfer thing with these, because I can see it good enough with the naked eye to not have to do the whole transfer method. So here's the ones that we've got. We've got silver bells. And I just added these into the Scripted Faith Collective this month. So we have Silver Bells and the Emmanuel, God with Us. So what I would do with this one would be to cut out the God with Us part and then just do the Emmanuel. And then part of the Creative Little Christmas last year was this Joy to the World, Silent Night, and Jesus is Lord. And so actually I'm going to drop all three of these other ones into the Scripted Faith Collective so that they're all going to be in there so you can print them all off. I may even double them up a little bit and put 2 on a sheet so you don't have to use up as much paper. But those are our options that we have. So I kind of want to do the Emmanuel one. I thought this banner would be fun to show you because it's got all the tails on it, and we didn't do it last year. So that's the one I'm going to start with, and then maybe we'll do Silver Bells next, and then we'll add them to our tree back here and see how it looks. Okay. So this is going to be just so quick. This is something that you could just do within a few minutes if you're looking to add a little bit of something special to your Christmas tree, something a little different. Here's the thing. I'm always very drawn to Christmas balls. Okay. I love the balls. I love the glitter. I love the velvet. I love the shiny, all the different kinds. And so every time I go to the store, I get sucked in to buying a bunch of these Christmas balls, all different sizes. And then I get home and I put them on my tree and everything is round. Everything is spherical. And it just, I'm like, oh man, I kind of need some different shapes up there. You know, I need something a little bit different that's going to catch the eye. And so that is the goal here, is that it's something different to catch the eye on your Christmas tree. Okay. So I'm going to just line this up. I'm going to try and use get the most out of my construction paper. So I know it's all white here and you're probably not able to see the difference, but I'm just going to put it up here. I'm not even going to worry really about taping it, but I'm going to trace through the paper. And then what we'll do after it's traced is we'll cut them all out. Okay. So it's kind of fun. I don't feel like there's too many opportunities that I can just trace without transferring with the graphite paper and everything. So this is kind of a fun, different type of project than we've done in a little while. So this is the Pentel. I just grabbed the Pentel Touch. And I want you to also, don't be afraid of it being like a little bit thicker in some areas and thinner in other areas. Kind of think the more, I don't want to say uneven because that has a negative connotation to it, but the more that it looks not uniform, the better, because it gives it a little bit just more character. So you're going to trace in your outer shape of your banner first. Oops, sorry, I went off the camera. Okay. Line it back up there. And don't forget to close up your folds. That can be one thing that gets left undone sometimes. And then your banner just does not look quite finished. How are we doing today? I was a little bit late getting on because we were at the vet with the kitty. And it's her first vet visit. So we had to find a new vet here in town. We haven't had a pet since we moved. And so, you know, they were nice. They were very friendly. She did not like being there, of course, but all seems fine. They couldn't really find out anything that was wrong with her. She's not pregnant. My husband was afraid she was, pregnant because she does go outside and She spends time outside every day, but she is not pregnant. So he was very happy about that. Haven, meanwhile, was very sad because she was hoping for some babies. But they couldn't really figure out what was wrong. So they just went ahead and did all her like normal kitty checkup stuff and made sure that she had what she needed, but it took forever. We were there for an hour and a half. Took way longer than I thought it was going to be honest. So we got home and I ran in here real fast. That's why I was a few minutes late. So, okay, so here's our basic banner shape. And if you want to, with these shadowed areas, you could color those all the way in. You could do dots, like look at the silver bells here. We've got just a bunch of dots and it filters down so it kind of looks like a fade with it. So that's really fun to use. You could use cardstock, definitely. You may not be able to trace through cardstock, so you'd have to test that and see if you can see through it. But cardstock would work great. The one thing is you want it to have like a little bit of give. So if it's too stiff, then it's not going to lay in the tree nicely. It's going to kind of just like stick there. But also I'm very much in favor of using what you have, like using what you have on hand rather than going and buying more things. Let me line this back up. So try it. Try the cardstock because, cardstock, there's lots of different weights of cardstock. So you might have a weight that is not as thick and not as stiff. Okay, so we just want to, I'm looking in here, making sure that the word Emmanuel is nice and centered. And then I'm going to just trace it. Go over that a few times to thicken it up. You could use a brush pen, like a dual tip brush pen or something a little bit thicker if you wanted to. I am looking to see my lines through there. I started putting up my family Christmas tree last night. We have a family Christmas tree where we do all of our family ornaments that are real fun and whimsical. And so we put that one in the dining room usually. And last night, everybody went to bed. And I was laying in bed scrolling Instagram. And I was not that tired. And I thought, what am I doing? I could just go downstairs right now. Nobody's here. It's quiet. And I could just go down there and put the lights on the tree because, I always have to add lights because they don't come with enough lights on them. Even though I have a pre-lit tree, it has barely any lights. So I added the lights and I did the topper and I added in a few picks and stuff. And then I thought I couldn't find the ribbon because the next thing I was going to do was the ribbon. And I was like, well, okay, I'm getting a little bit tired now. So called it quits and went to bed. But the kids, we have a tradition where we go to Hobby Lobby every year and they get to pick out a new ornament for the year. And they're not like, I don't know, they're very picky about the ornaments that they pick out. But it doesn't necessarily, it's not always something that goes with the year, like, oh, I played soccer this year. I'm going to get a soccer ball. It's not like that. It's just whatever they fancy. I don't know. And I just let them pick. I'm like, whatever you choose, it's your ornament for the year. And we write the date on it, so that we can remember. And then when they get married and they move off one day, I'm just going to hand them a box of their ornaments and be like, here you go. You've got all your ornaments from growing up, you know, so start your tree. But it's a fun, real whimsical tree because it's bright colors. So I use a lot of like bright colored picks, and I use a few extra ornaments like candy, canes, and things just to fill in some of the gaps. But as they're getting older and older, I don't have as much gaps because we have more and more ornaments. So it gets fuller and fuller every year. All right, so there I did something a little bit different, just a little cross hash to show you another way that you could add that shadow in that section. So there we go. There's one. And then I'm going to switch to my Tombow for the next one because that seems like it's starting to lose some ink. It's a little dry. Just darken this up just a little bit more. There we go. Teresa, how many trees do you put up? Do you decorate them all too? Or are they like little tabletop trees that maybe just have lights on them? Or do you put ornaments on all the trees? So I know some people like to put a tree in every room. I'm not quite there. I put up 3 full-size trees. They're like 7.5, 7.5, and 9 foot. And then I do a little like 4-foot tree in the entryway with some ornaments on it. And that one I call my lettering tree because it's got some hand lettered ornaments on it. And so it's all these words. And so I don't do a lot with that one, but it's pretty. And then the kids used to put up trees in their room. Haven did last year. Pierce did not. I think he feels like he's too big for that now. But they do their own tree. Like she did her own decorating for her own tree. And then I've got just a few of those little tabletop trees that I might put in the bathroom or, you know, in a hallway or something like that so that it just looks pretty. But so I guess you'd say I decorate 4 trees, but you say you have some bigger, some smaller. You decorate them all. 10 trees. Oh my goodness. I love that. I love that so much. Oh, I even made my husband, hold on, I'm gonna put this on screen since not everybody's on YouTube. I even made my husband his own tree last year, patriotic and Marine Corps. Love that. Love that. I love a themed tree too, but patriotic trees are one of my favorites. Hey, Glinda, good to see you. Okay, so what we're doing next is we are going to do the Silver Bells banner. And so I'm just going to come down a little bit. I may need to slide it down just a tad bit more so I've got room for my cutout. So now I'm going to grab my Tombow and we're going to see how that looks. Maybe it will be a little bit more, maybe it'll work a little bit better since it's not so dry. So I just love doing banners so much. It's one of my favorite things to draw are these banners. Y'all want me to, I'll bump it out just a little bit because it seems kind of far away. That way you can kind of see the whole thing. Okay, is that okay? Or do y'all like being closer up? Let me know. So the main thing too with your banners is kind of curve as they're coming down. You want to kind of like curve it in to that tail so that it sometimes it can look like a straight line and then it starts to curve. So I try to always just curve just a little bit as it comes to the connection point there. All right, close the tails and then And remember, you can always resize these. So if you wanted them larger, you could cut them out and make them really big. Like, I mean, you could do a good 12, 15 inches if you had a really big tree, and you would just print them, and it would probably take up 2 pieces of paper or maybe even 3 pieces of paper, but you would just print them out large and then tape the papers together so that you make like a little tile. It's called tiling. And so you could make them as big as you wanted or as small as you wanted. I might add some of these to my word tree that I have in my entryway. All right, so let's do the calligraphy. And again, you want to go over it a couple times. The Tombow is pretty thin. It's a small tip pen, you know, and so if you want it thicker, just go over it a few different times. Hey, Paula, good to see you. I'm glad you caught me too. I was a few minutes late getting on this morning coming from the vet. We've never had a kitty before, so this is our first kitty. We've always had dogs, and you know, I'm just not really used to kitty moods. Maybe she was just in a mood yesterday, but she slept all day. And she wouldn't let us touch her. So that's when I knew that there was something going on, you know. We've never been cat people. We've just always been more dog people. But it's funny how your kids make you change, because our daughter, she wanted a cat so bad. So she kept asking and asking and asking. She finally got what she wanted. Hey, Marty, good to see you. I haven't seen you for a little while. I'm glad that you were able to join us. The vet said that she was fine. She checked to make sure she wasn't pregnant, because she does go outside. She's an indoor-outdoor kitty. She goes outside for a few hours a day, and she loves to be outside. So yesterday she just wouldn't hardly venture outside at all, but they just really couldn't find anything wrong. She didn't have a temperature or anything like that. So I don't know if maybe the night before, maybe she climbed a tree and she fell, maybe hit her belly or something. Her legs seemed fine. It was her belly that seemed tender. So I don't know if maybe she fell and she hit something or something happened, but after 24 hours, she was much better today when she woke up. But we still took her in anyway because she hadn't been to the vet yet. So it's just like a good excuse to just go ahead and go take care of all that. Take care of our fur babies. But it's funny how much my husband did not want a cat. He's like, I don't want a cat. And when he finally said yes, listen, that cat loves him more than anybody. It's so funny. I'm like, well, you are just the cat's favorite. Look at that. How is that? She'll always climb up with him on the couch and sit in his lap when he's got a blanket on. I mean, she just loves to sit with him. And I sit next to him, and she does not come sit in my lap. So I was like, well, looky there. The one who didn't want the cat is the cat's favorite, and he loves her. Oh my goodness, he loves her. It's so funny. Isn't it funny how men he just was like so against it for so long, and now he is the favorite, and he loves her so much. So here's what I'm doing. Okay, so if you will look, I'm going to go ahead and take the template out so you can see. Okay, so this one has all those dots, but what you can do is just totally color in the top part, so you don't have to just do dots forever and ever and ever. So just color in the top, and then you'll start adding some dots and let them taper off. So then you just do your dots, just a bunch of them. Kind of like a scatter, like scattered. But I always like to do them thicker at the top and then more sparse as they come down. And then you decide if you want to bring them all the way down or part way down. But this is such a small little tip. You could just be making dots all day. It's so small. So, but I love that look. Isn't that cool? It has a nice effect. Okay. So there, we've done Emmanuel and silver bells. Should we do one more and do 3? Okay, so those were the 2 that I put in the Scripted Faith Collective for this month. And then we've got the Joy to the World, Jesus is Lord, and Silent Night. Do y'all want to do the Silent Night one? Because that's a different shape banner. So we'll do one of each shape. How about that? How about that? Okay. And again, this Silent Night one was part of the Creative Little Christmas last year in November. So it's been about a year since I did this. And I think in that, I wonder if it's still up somewhere because that was a Facebook Live. And you know how they've started deleting our Facebook Lives, which is why you should follow me on YouTube, because YouTube is going to hold all the lives from forever. But I think I brought in one of my little Christmas trees, like the 7.5-foot Christmas tree. And I had it in there with me during that live to show you how to put it on the tree. So this time we're going to put it on the little one behind me. But this was such a cool, I kept these on my tree the whole Christmas season last year. And I really enjoyed them. So you'll have to let me know if you try this and if you put any of them on your Christmas tree. Marty says our outside cat did that weird thing once, disappeared for 2 weeks. Oh, he was scared. That is so sad. Oh my goodness. What a scary story. You know, I was thinking we were really scared of her getting picked up by an owl or a hawk or something when she was little. So we didn't let her go outside by herself for a long time. But now she's bigger. And so, well, they weighed her today. She's 7 pounds. So that makes me wonder if she is still small enough for an animal like that to pick her up. But that is so sad. You know, I've heard about cats disappearing to give birth, or they just disappear for a while and then they come back. So, but yeah, that's a way to make you feel scared and worried and so sad. Oh my goodness. Well, I'm glad he came back. He did come back, right? Yeah. You said that you figured out a little bit later. So yeah, I'm glad he came back. It's so sad. Paula, this is construction paper. I am using this. It's called True Ray Premium Heavyweight construction paper. And so I did not find it in the kids craft section with like the colored craft paper. This was more in the art section of Hobby Lobby. But Roxy suggested maybe even using cardstock that you could get even at an office store. Just maybe don't get the thickest, heaviest cardstock because you don't want it to be too stiff on your tree. You want it to have a little bit of give so that it kind of will lay in the tree nicely. So those are 2 different options that you could use. Or craft paper. If you like the brown craft paper, you could do that. Makes me think you could even use like a brown paper bag if you get those anymore. I don't know, like the grocery stores, I don't know if you can still get brown paper bags, but if you get brown paper bags, you might even be able to use that, like open it up and letter on it, cut it out. Okay, I'm just going back over this a couple times to thicken it up. My in is not as thick, so it needs to be a little bit more silent. And then I did night in all caps. So go like this. So you can still get the 3 from the Creative Little Christmas last year. You can still get those 3 banners on my krystalwitten.com website under worksheets. You can download these 3 of these paper banners. It was part of the whole Creative Little Christmas event last year, and so I made those available for download. So you can still get access to those if you would like, but then I added 2 more to the Scripted Faith Collective, and I'll add the 3 that I'm talking about to the collective too, so you can just get them all in one place. But this one, and this one were part of that Creative Little Christmas thing from last year. And then Emmanuel, God with Us, is a new one. And you know, also I thought this design would look really cute on a sign like this. You could size it down just a little bit, but just like a little wooden sign, and then transfer the Emmanuel, God with Us. It'd be a cute little, you could even hang that on a Christmas tree or on a doorknob, you know? So I would just size it down just a little bit to get it to fit on there. But so that one's in the collective, and the Silver Bells is as well. So, okay, now for the fun part, we're going to cut them out. All right. So bear with me just a second. I'll switch my camera over. Bear with me just a second. I'm going to cut these out. And this is a big sheet. You see how big that is? So I could do 3 more, whoops, on this side and get 6 different ornaments out. I might have to actually turn it. So not quite half. So you might have to like take your template and turn it sideways and get 2 more, but you could get more out of it. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut here. This is awkward. I guess I'll put it back down. It's hard to cut flat on a tabletop, but I want to show you. You're going to cut it just, okay. It's up to you. Would you prefer to cut right along the line or leave a little bit of a white outline? And I'm going to leave a little bit of a white outline because I like that look. So you're just going to pick how thick you want it to be. It could be a lot, it could be a little. And then don't judge my cutting skills. So we're going to just go around it. It's been a while since I've cut stuff out. Like I'm back in school. Okay, are you seeing the vision yet? Concentrating. Okay, so on this edge right here, it's a little bit sharp, so I'm just kind of cut that little corner off. So it's more of a blunt edge than a sharp edge. All right, so there's one. Isn't that cute? It's so fun. Roxy, you like to put oversized signs on your tree too. You know what I love the most is when people use unexpected things on their tree. Like, I don't know. What have I seen people use? Like, okay, there's this guy in Memphis. He's a florist. His name is John Mark. I don't know if y'all have ever seen his stuff before, but he is kind of like the it thing in Memphis, Tennessee for florals. Like, he's a florist, and he's got this shop that is gorgeous. If you're on Instagram, you need to go follow him. It's John Mark Enterprises. And he is so creative. Well, he shows decorating trees in all kinds of ways because people hire him to come decorate for them. And one thing I saw him decorate with last year were those ginger jars, those like blue and white ginger jars. And I nearly had a heart attack. Like, how is he wiring those jars to that tree or to that garland? But it looked so cool. I mean, it was like really over the top, you know? I'm like, how does any normal person do that? But that was just like a cool example. Some people use like, you know, snowman hats that are not meant to be ornaments, but they just put them on a tree because they're like big and attention getting, basically. So, all right, there's two. And last one. This year, I feel like a lot of people are going over the top. And it's partly like the problem with social media. It's like everybody's trying to be over the top with their Christmas tree, all the influencers and everything. And I'm like, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. But like, I'm using the same ornaments I had 20 years ago, you know, and I love them still. So I'd say every year I buy a couple new things, and I cycle a few things out, but I just kind of love having, I don't know, having the old ornaments that have stories and have memories attached. I'm not hating on the people who do a new tree every year, though. It is beautiful. Okay, so just get out the last little pieces here. Okay, that was a little too thick. Up and around. And so you could think like, okay, you want to use craft paper. If you'd rather use a red pen or a green pen, you don't have to do black, because I know black is not really a Christmas color. But the tree that I'm putting this on is kind of like a silvery. I do like silver glittery ornaments, and I try to make it look kind of like a wintry, I don't know, like a wintry woodsy tree. And so the black and white looks really good on it. But okay, here's my little tabletop tree that I have in here. So we got, let's see, go this way. So you can see the ones that I had done last year on there. Okay, and so then this year, let's just add them to the back. Don't mind, it hasn't been fluffed in the back quite yet, but you get the gist. Okay, so then what you're going to do is just find a spot in the branches where it'll go in and kind of rest in there, but then maybe also tuck in just a little bit. So you just use the branches to hold it and tuck it like that. Isn't that cute? So fun. Like super cheap, and it only took us, what, 20 minutes? I've been talking. If I wasn't talking, then it would have been faster. So then, move my camera up just a tad. Can see the top here. There we go, silver bells. It's kind of hard to do it from behind, but you know what I'm talking about. Are you getting the vision? Paula, I'm just going to put this out here. I need a printer. What are you ladies using? Can y'all help Paula out with her printer? Her printer died and she needs to figure out how to print hers. Now I know you could go to like you could print things at like your FedEx Kinko's or whatever, or your UPS store, but also that would be annoying to always have to run out to print stuff. So what's a good printer? I use a commercial printer, so I have trouble answering that question. But I know, like from when I used to have an inkjet printer or a toner printer, is that what it was called? Like the Hewlett Packards were good. But I have been out, and the Brothers are good too. So, okay, what do y'all think? Here, let me hold it back. Hold it back just a little. So I added a lot, obviously. You could also do some like little balls in there, but this is just a little tabletop tree too. So if you had a bigger tree, they would tuck in there a little bit better. So you'd have a better idea. Not a better idea. You'd have more room to put stuff. Now let me show you this. This one right here was from last year, and it's very floppy. So this is what I was talking about with that other paper. This was just a little bit too thin, and it kind of just, I don't know. It looks sad in the tree. It's kind of limp in there. So after I made this one, I was like, yeah, I'm not going to use that kind again. So the construction paper, or I think cardstock, would be better. So, all right. So Roxy says, Paula, I'm going to put this on screen. She uses the Canon Pixma MG from Walmart. So write that one down and look that one up. And then it's an inkjet, she says. Okay. Let's see. A lot more people are buying other versions that you can order in, and it's a lot less cost effective. So, ink. Oh, I see what you're saying. Gotcha. Ink can be expensive. It can. And so I know that you can also buy toner. With these templates, you only need black, though. You don't need all the colors. So that's, that's that. But I would say you can even Google something like best printers of 2025, best home printers of 2025, and that can give you some options that you could research too. So, and I just I'll get on Amazon or Walmart and I'll just read the reviews. And, when it's like devices or technology things, I just read the reviews and then try and make the best decision from that. So, okay. Well, y'all can go ahead and respond to her in the comments and let her know if you've got other suggestions. But that's our tutorial for the day. So let me know if you end up doing this tutorial. Snap a picture of your tree, post it. You can send it to me in a DM or email it to me or whatever. I would love to see it. I'd love to share it. But isn't that fun? Isn't that cute? So I'm going to start putting together my wintry wonderland tree and put these ornaments on it later today. So I will post a picture for y'all too whenever I get that done. So thank y'all so much for being here. I enjoyed hanging out with you, and I will see you next time. Have a wonderful afternoon. Bye.